Well, come to the point where I said I was going to do this, and usually I call this Week with Me on YouTube, but doing something different. I'm going to do things in two parts. I'm sure by now a lot of you probably know already, but back in October, I made an announcement on TikTok and on YouNow. And I did on my own TikTok live, but I announced this on Roxy Toxic's Open Mic Tuesday. And, well, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm gay. And that's what I came out and said back in October. And, well, I'm going to get into this part this week. Oh, when it's this part, I don't know if it's going to be a whole week before I do part two. Part two is going to be where I'm at right now, the relationship that I'm in, and all that we explain next week. This week, or this episode, we're doing it in two parts. I'm going to go through the journey as much as I can, as much as I think I really need to get you to understand things. And I'm not going to give away too much, but I'm going to go ahead and give you like the main things and the timeline and everything else and how things came about. About probably 4 to 5 years ago, determined that I was not able to receive an erection. Yeah, I thought at all. At that point, I'm thinking, well, okay, this must be ED, must be erectile dysfunction. And, well, so I went ahead and got Viagra and tried it. Well, it barely lasted as long as I did. Like, as soon as I finished, it was like, boom. But it felt like it was manufactured. It felt like manufactured sex. And here I am with my wife thinking, this is us forever. We're here forever. This is this, And then here we go. I'm just not able to perform, but with your own wife felt like it was manufactured. Something didn't gel with me then. And I'm like, no, this can't be. And that's the first thing I said. This can't be true. This can't be true. Just cannot be. And but it's here. But also started to felt like temporary blindness, which is what they say with Viagra. And so I called my urologist, and he basically told me, I'm not going to give his name out and all that. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. He said, in that case, don't take it anymore. Do not take it again. Maybe we could try Cialis. So then he said, all right, try Cialis. So I tried it again. Cialis didn't work. I mean, I think I may have reached erection for about maybe a minute or two. That was it. And they're like, oh boy. And I just kind of put it away and just said, you know what? Put it on the shelf. Don't worry about it right now. And time passed. And I'm like, well, alright, something's just not right here. I felt things that I hadn't felt in quite a few years. Decades, I should say. I'll get into what I'm talking about in a minute, because I want to step by step go through everything that happened. This may go longer, this may go about 20 minutes, but I really need to step it up because I'm going to be pulling in at a stop pretty soon, and I have to do the job. So I'm trying to condense this now. Okay, so time has passed. Boom, boom, boom. All right, I was on my route one day, and I was talking to an employee of one of my customers, and young gay man that I knew, and he was, I brought up the fact that he's gay, but there's a reason why I brought that up. And you'll understand in a minute. He said, what's wrong? And I was kind of, I could tell I was like down, maybe not really depressed, but I was down. Things just wasn't right. And he basically told me this. He says, if you don't think it's what you think it is, then why don't you do something? He said, go and watch. He said, first go watch heterosexual porn. Go watch it, see if anything happens. And let me know what happens. And so a couple of weeks passed because it was an every 2-week job. And I go back 2 weeks and I told him, I said, nothing. I tried watching all kind of, straight porn and kept watching it, and nothing happened. Nothing, literally nothing happened. He says, okay, now I want you to do this. Go look at gay porn and see what happens. So I said, all right, well, I guess I got nothing to lose. Reason why I say that, I did have a brief introduction into oral sex with a guy, and well, I say a couple of guys, but I'm definitely ain't giving anybody's names away. Nope, it could have been any time, but it was definitely in my teen years. I'll go that far. And so I had a little bit of experimentation with it. But then I went in the Marine Corps, and I basically put that on the shelf. Boom. Put that behind. Thought I put it behind me. Okay? I thought I put it behind me. But no. I went decades, with women. Married 8 years the first time, and the unfortunate thing, it would have been 25 years last week if I wouldn't have, been looking. If I wouldn't have been looking for the answers. I'll go that way. We're looking for the answers. So what happened was, I go home. I don't go home, but I get my phone. So I find a couple of sites. First couple of, but what it was, I think I was looking at people around my own age first, and nothing happened. Happened to come across this site that don't exist anymore, but at the time it was called Blonde Twins. And first one I saw, standing at attention. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? So I kind of, dallied around with it and experimented. Make sure I was for sure certain, but wasn't ready to really pounce on anything yet. This was probably 3 years ago, probably about 2.5 years ago now. I wasn't quite ready to do anything yet. Yeah, I'll say it like that, yet. But I sat there and I was thinking, okay, well, what am I going to do here? What am I going to do? I'm still married at the time, right now. But be going through a divorce, that's first step, got to get out of the house. and which I haven't been able to do yet. I'm looking for an apartment, affordable apartment, but not in a bad neighborhood in Baton Rouge. And so far, the only cheap ones I can find is in the bad parts of Baton Rouge. So I'm like, I get up and leave the house at 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning. I can't be in a bad neighborhood doing this. So we'll get into that. That's kind of what I'll touch on tomorrow. Yeah, this is going to go about 20 minutes. I can see it now. So I just decided at that point, I said, well, what am I going to do? And I said this was 2.5 years ago. So I still was just porn at the time. Well, then I say, well, let me take the next step. Let me go into these guys that do live shows, live sex shows, okay, you know, and so I did that for a little while, but then I noticed something. Well, I'd already joined a couple of gay dating sites in the past. I checked them out. All I was finding was people that either wanted money from you, or all they wanted to do was play. And I don't know, I was kind of, at the time, really wanting a relationship. Well, over time, I've also determined two things. That, I was definitely into blondes, but also become interested in Asians as well. And he's gonna move so I can get to that thing. So I started basically trying to concentrate on those two categories of blondes or younger guys. I did know one thing. I was interested in guys, and from about 21 to 40, maybe. Maybe there was a couple of guys 45 that I would have considered, but it just I'm just not attracted to people my own age or just a little bit younger. Definitely not older. Yeah, definitely not older. Definitely not right. I'm not attracted to older guys at all. And so, and I'm thinking, okay, am I really into this older, younger thing? And well, then I kind of joined you now at the time, and I was like, well, and then people would say, basically everybody would say, age is a number, love is love, boom, 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 and I kind of bought into that, and I wholeheartedly believe that now. There's no question about it. I wholeheartedly believe in that. And but before I did anything, I said a couple sites did that. Somebody suggested a site named Taimi, Taimi. Okay, and I said, okay. They say it's basically LGBT dating site, and I did it for a week one time. Then I stopped because I wasn't finding anything. I was like, I don't know what's going on with this. And God told me, he said, I want guys from UNAM, basically, to give it another week. So I said, all right, I'll give it another week. I'll try it again. And so I did. I paid for another week. And I was going to Houston. I was going to Houston for work because Hurricane Ida had just hit. And then a week passed, and then I was like, I got a call from my work, and they wanted to know if I was interested in bringing my truck, this truck, drive it over to Houston, work for a week, and come back, and then we should be able to work the next week. So I said, all right, I'll do that. And and I was over in Houston. I said, let me do it again. Let me just check this out again. Paid for that second week. Went through the time I was in Houston. All I was finding is guys that wanted to play. But unfortunately, I was finding underage guys too. I skipped the Snapchat. Yeah, I skipped that. But I was in those live things, those live shows. That's what I was meant to say. I noticed that people were writing in chat, meet me, if you want to meet me, come to my Snap, Snap in their number. And so I did that, and I still met a couple of guys, and it was like, but nothing really serious. Guys that just wanted to play. And so I did that for a little while, and didn't want to do that anymore. So I kind of got away from that. And then, like I said, then the Tammy thing happened the first week, and the same thing was happening there. They said, give it time. So the second week, I'm over in Houston. I'm finding underage guys on this Tammy, and I'm like, what? Oh, there was one guy. Oh, I'm 15. Come, let me know your hotel room and all that. I was like, yeah, you're right. That's not going to happen. And so I actually went back home. Because that was people in Houston. I was trying to, at that point, I was looking for guys in Houston. And so I go back home, and I changed my thing over to, Louisiana, Denham Springs. So I'm going to find guys in the Denham Springs, Baton Rouge area. And, I'm like, well, I'll do that. I'm here. So the Monday comes, and my 1 week membership expires on Tuesday. So I'm back here. I'm back in, back working in the Baton Rouge area in my truck. Then I was like, one day I was like, you know what? I saw these advertisements for this, these people that working on. Oh shit! I passed the thing up. I'm gonna get that done in a minute. I just realized I passed it up. I was like, I can't be back all the way there. It's right behind the dumpster. So I'm gonna come up to that point, and because I already went over the fact that I had to tell my family and all that, but I'm gonna go up to the point to where I met the person that I'm with. I still got to get it. If he's okay with me saying his real name, I'll go by the name he uses on you now, and on he did use it on TikTok for a little while, Koiki, and yeah, you heard me say Koiki, and yeah, here we go. All right, so I'll go into this guy's live. Happened to be a Filipino guy he goes by the name Raspberry, and it was he and his boyfriend who was guesting with him. And so they talking and all that. So I get into the chat. The guy's like asking me questions. He's like, "Where you from?" And I'm writing in the chat, Louisiana, and I had all these questions. And so I'm answering the questions and talking to the guy, and a question came up because there was a trans guy that was in there that I was kind of talking back and forth with, in the chat. And he was saying he was from Texas, and said, yeah, I was just in Texas, and blah, 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 and all that. And so this guy, I'll say Koiki, writes in the chat, and he asked me a question. Are you with that trans guy? And I said, no, I just started talking to him here. I'm not with anybody. I'm looking for somebody, but I'm not here with anybody. And so he sends the things, because you got to think where you can like a person, and then you can also send them a friend request. So it says Koiki likes you. Okay. So I saw the thing, and I'm like, okay, well, he's going to come back in the chat. And he's going to come back in the chat, and guess what? Well, he didn't come back in the chat. Because the next thing I see is Koike sent you a friend request. So I said, friend request? Let me go check this out. And so we went over there and we started chatting, and we hit it off from the beginning. I mean, it's like, wow. I said, but the thing is, he's from the Philippines, and I'm like, God, that's long distance. So I really want to do that. But he checked off some boxes. He checked off, yes, Asian. Yes, cute. He checked that off. I mean, those boxes right off the bat. And was he interested in older guys? That got checked off. So I'm thinking, okay, he's 24 at the time. Yeah, he just turned 25 in December. He wanted to know. So, I say, so okay, 24. So he checks off that box. He's over 21. So that's good. I was able to see his ID, and I'll tell you more. But I'm going to tell you more about IDs and all next broadcast. I got to cut this off. But once I determined he was the one that, and what basically happened in the meantime, I realized it's time. Because Brendan noticed something. My son noticed something. He's like, something is wrong with you. And you're going to have to tell me. And that's why I basically blurted it out to him. I said, well, I love you, Mom, but I'm not in love with her anymore. And he said, what does that mean? I said, well, basically, it means I'm gay. And I came to the grips that I was, and that's when I finally said it to somebody. Shouldn't have said it to him first, because I wound up being a big mess. Then I wound up having to tell, obviously my wife, and then I had to go to my brother's house. I got both my brothers there with their wives and my mom and all there, and then I told them. And then after I told them, the next week is when I did it on TikTok. That's when I went on TikTok. And then the following day, was a Monday, and then the Tuesday, and once I told my family, I said, that's it, then I'm coming out. And I did it on a TikTok live. Then I went on Roxy Toxic's open mic stream on Tuesday, and I came out on You Now. And so I'll leave it at that for now, but yeah, did I do it the right way? Probably not. Maybe I should have gotten divorced first, but then the whole thing in my mind was, well, what if I was not gay? But it would have been the fair thing to do. It would have been the right thing to do. Okay, I didn't do that right. And I admit it. I didn't do it right. But, I mean, how else was I supposed to know? So, and I didn't know what was the right way, the wrong way. But yeah, in hindsight, yeah, next time if I had to do it over again, yeah, about 2 years ago I would have said, okay, let's get a divorce. Probably when it should have happened, but I'll live with that. I mean, I'll have to deal with that the rest of my life, and obviously, probably won't get forgiveness, but I mean, at least from God, hopefully I'll get it. But we gotta coexist as a family. We still gotta have things going on. When I do the next video, I'll let everybody know how I'm gonna treat that part of it, because then it's gonna go into the relationship. I'm gonna go past what just happened. I'm gonna go past the October TikTok Live and Roxy Toxic and You Now. Go past that, and then I'll pick it up from that point on my next video. Sorry it went a little long, but I decided to do it 2 parts. So this is basically coming out part 1 on YouTube. Alright, well, but I'll say like I always say, God willing, I'll talk to you again in a little while. Bye.